In St. Louis, they know about winning football. The Rams have been to 2 Super Bowls in the last 5 years. But there will be no postseason play for the Rams this year. With a lot of injuries, they're hurting at 5-8. The Philadelphia Eagles were in the Super Bowl last season. They too have had a lot of injuries and team turmoil. They're 5-8 as well and won't be in the playoffs this season. It's 2 good 5-8 teams meeting up today in St. Louis. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the NFL on Fox. I'm Sam Rosen, along with a Pro Bowl defensive star, Bill Moss. These 2 teams are perennial playoff teams, Bill. They know about winning. They've been to Super Bowls, but this year have fallen on hard times. But both coaches have told us they're playing their final 3 games to win.
Well, you know what it's about? It's about hurt, and it's about embarrassment, because that's what these teams feel. Because you mentioned perennial playoff teams. You know, for the last 5 years, you could always count on the Rams and the Eagles being in the playoff picture. Such isn't the case. And along with that comes embarrassment. And when you have embarrassment, you have effort. Because in the National Football League, it's all about the effort and time you've put into it, going all the way back to last offseason. The offseason training thing, the draft, the training camp. You go through the whole season, and to have the outcome be a losing season, that's how you're measured, and none of these guys will stand for it. That's why today you'll see so much effort.
One thing about these 2 teams, there are a lot of big-name stars. On the Rams, you still have Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt, Marshall Faulk, and on and on and on. And for the Eagles, there'll be some young stars that are coming along.
Well, you talk about explosive players. The Rams still have it, and they haven't changed their offense any. Even though young Ryan Fitzpatrick's the one throwing the football, they're still going to air it out. Torrey Holt's going to be explosive, Isaac Bruce, Steven Jackson, and yes, Marshall Faulk. You'll see a lot of him today as well. And this team is all about putting up points. But for Philadelphia, they've lost a lot of their playmakers. So you got new playmakers. Ryan Moats, young little running back out of Louisiana Tech. I watched him on film. Like, wow, I love this guy. And I know Terry Bradshaw loves him. He's got to be a big-time player. And Reggie Brown is one of my favorites. This rookie, the first-round draft choice, this guy is going to be around a long time. He reminds me of a Hines Ward with his effort.
Should be a good one between these 2 teams. But later on in our second game, 2 teams battling for playoff position, hoping to make it in the wild card, maybe even as division champion, the Redskins and the Cowboys. We'll be set to go in a moment.
Fox Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
What's up, man? Another day of work, man. Love this game, man. We're a little short this year, 5-8. Still don't stop the love, though, man. Love the game. Fortunate to be playing this game. Peace to St. Louis, the fans. Give us some bill, what up? See what type of work we put in today. Peace.
Torrey Holt telling you all you need to know about how the players feel. Love this game.
And being at practice with him on Friday, Sam, you can tell by the way the team practice, their enthusiasm, that Torrey Holt doesn't stand alone in those feelings. The whole team really exuded that type of atmosphere, attitude on the practice field.
Rams will receive. That's Chris Johnson deep. David Akers will kick off. And we are underway in St. Louis. Johnson with good speed starts it to 6. Finds the wedge, and the Eagles find him. Mark Semino down to make the stop at the 23-yard line. The rookie out of Harvard, Ryan Fitzpatrick, starts at quarterback. A couple of rookies on the offensive line. Alex Barron is back after hand surgery. He missed 2 games. And Adam Timmerman playing his 171st consecutive game. Torrey Holt is 3rd in the NFL with 85 receptions. And Steven Jackson is expected to see the ball a lot. Joe Vitt, the interim head coach, says he wants to run him at least 25 times. And here's Jackson. Finds a hole. And a good run. That's a first down. Up at the 34-yard line. Picked up 11. The Eagles defense, which has not been as strong as it's been in recent years. Trent Cole, good pass rusher. Mike Patterson, the rookie out of USC. And Darwin Walker's back after being benched last week. Jeremiah Trotter's the leading tackler. Roderick Hood starts at cornerback with Lito Shepherd out. Sheldon Brown has 3 interceptions. 3 wide receivers for the Rams. Fitzpatrick puts it up but short. On the far side, intended for Isaac Bruce. Roderick Hood covering on the play, and Darwin Walker with good pressure. Brings up a 2nd and 10.
You know, you talk about effort, Sam, and guys and the attitude we just heard from Torrey Holt a moment ago. Alex Barron's one of those guys as well. Here's a rookie, okay, that had surgery. At this point in the season, most rookies are done with their college careers. You know, it's that time of year where you want to finish up and just shut it down.
Jackson slipped. As he was cutting back, there was a hole, but he slipped and went down. And Jeremiah Trotter touched him down just across the 35-yard line. They'll spot it at the 36 and bring up a 3rd and 8.
This new turf, it's a 1-year deal in St. Louis here. They put in. This is the field turf. And it's a longer type of turf. It's a grass turf. You know, it has those long blades that come up. I think it's really impeded a little bit some of the speed in which the Rams used to play with, and it is slippery.
Marshall Faulk in the backfield goes out with 4 wide receivers. Fitzpatrick throws and connects with Sean McDonald for a 1st down across the 45. Good throw by Ryan Fitzpatrick.
You know, one thing about the Rams offense is they're a perimeter passing team. There's not too many things they throw into the middle of the field. You don't have a Jeremy Shockey running the seams, or you don't have a lot of curls and a lot of in routes. The quarterback is going to throw the ball to the perimeter, to the wide receivers in his offense.
Evan Curtis motions, 3 wide receivers in. The toss to Marshall Faulk. Behind Madison, Hedgecock goes outside and gets maybe 3, probably about 2 on the play. Sheldon Brown came up to make the tackle on Marshall Faulk. Fans cheer as his name is announced.
You know, when you study film and you get some tendencies, watch the Eagles defensive line. Now watch them shift. See this motion right here? They all shift over to the right with the motion, knowing that that's a tendency. That was a trend breaker, that when they come down and they map that motion, that side is where the ball is going to go to.
Steven Jackson back in at running back, and he carries behind Hedgecock. Nice hole. Here goes Jackson. Breaks the tackle, and he's brought down at the Eagles' 32-yard line. Keith Adams finally stopped him. A 20-yard run for Steven Jackson.
There are some names in football that just apply to football. And Madison Hedgecock is one of those guys. The fullback, 44. Take a look at him on this lead. Watch him get up on the backer right there. Bang! There's the smash, and that kicks the whole thing open. Tahani Jones met Hedgecock right in the hole, and Hedgecock won that deal, and Steven Jackson followed.
Jerome Collins out of Notre Dame making his NFL debut for the Rams. The tight end is in. Fitzpatrick throwing to the sideline and off the hands of Torrey Holt. Roderick Hood covering on the play.
You know, when Ryan Fitzpatrick stepped in the Houston game and took over, he kind of just lit it up. And you know, that's expected a lot of times when your backup quarterback comes in, and things just happen. But since then, you know, one of the things I think that he needs to work on is maybe his accuracy with the ball and anticipation of the routes and the receivers running them.
2nd and 10, 3 wide receivers in. Curtis motions, and Jackson carries. A couple of linemen lead him around the corner. Jackson breaks a tackle and slams into the safety, Michael Lewis, knocked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Jackson running hard, off to a great start thus far in the game.
Well, take a look at Jackson and watch him string this out to the sidelines. Watch him come this way. See that? He's waiting. See, that's patience. He's up near the line of scrimmage, but his linemen haven't got on their blocks yet. So he gives it that little sidestep to allow time for his linemen to finish their job. Once they finish their job, you see the end result.
Picked up 19. He's carried 4 times for 52 yards. Indy Kalu in at defensive end for the Eagles. Good drive for the Rams. Here's Jackson. Not much there, but he pulls his way inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. Picked up 5. Jeremiah Trotter took him down.
You know, Joe Vitt was talking with him on Friday, and one of the things he was talking about pertaining to his offense is Steven Jackson. He says, you know, I got to get him going. I had to have a talk with him. He goes, I think too many players are trying to make game breakers to try to put us back. He goes, I had to tell Steven, I want you to run the ball, and I want you to hit the hole hard and get as many yards as you can. 4, 5, and 6 is okay. You don't have to hit 20 all the time.
2nd and 5, Isaac Bruce motion. false start against the Rams. That will set them back. Bill
False
Levy.
start. Number 62 offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
It's on Adam Timmerman. The Eagles defense has struggled opening drives by opponents. They've given up the 3rd most points in the NFL. Very un-Eagle-like this year. Defense has not been shutting teams down. 8 times this season they've given up 21 points or more. Jackson off to a great start. Here's Jackson. Hedgecock blocking for him. Eagles good penetration on the play. Hollis Thomas leading the way, followed up by Dhani Jones.
You go back to the false start with Adam Timmerman, and that's really what. Take a look. Here's some penetration in the backfield. Dhani Jones with some pressure in the backfield as linebacker. That's what made that thing bounce outside. But if you go back to the false start by Adam Timmerman, you know, Adam Timmerman's been around forever. What's his 11th, 12th year in the league? And this is the story of the Rams this year. Here they are getting the red zone. The 12-year vet has that.
11th play of the drive. Jackson trying to get outside, was slowed down, and he is pulled out of bounds at the 9-yard line.
And, you know, now they got to settle for a field goal because of that mistake.
Right, that false start hurt them.
And it's been a lot like that for everything. Everybody has their turn, it seems, for the Rams. Couple that with injuries, and that's what you end up with.
Jeff Wilkins will come on. There's the last Jackson run. Broke a couple of tackles, but the Eagles spread it out well. Jeff Wilkins 20 of 22 this season. This will be a 26-yard field goal try, and it's good. And the Rams put 3 on the board. An opening drive in which they ran the ball, something they wanted to do this week. Keep it on the ground with Steven Jackson. They get 3.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 40.
That's Joe Vitt, linebackers coach, elevated to interim head coach when Mike Martz had to take sick leave. This is a man who's been in the NFL 27 seasons, was a linebackers coach with the Eagles from 1995 to 1998. A New Jersey guy who's got a lot of friends come down for this game. One thing he said to us is that he felt he mismanaged the game in Minnesota last week, that he put the ball in Ryan Fitzpatrick's hands too much, made him pass too much, and he wants to pull it back this week. Wilkins kicks off to Roderick Hood at the 5. Hood takes it outside and is brought down on a nice tackle by Corey Ivy at the 24-yard line. 20-yard return. Eagles go on offense for the first time today here in St. Louis.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by Budweiser. Bright, crisp, clean, pure. This is Budweiser. This is beer.
Retooled offensive line for the Eagles. Rookie Todd Harriman starting at left tackle. Jamal Jackson at center. Lamar Gordon starts at running back. He's a former Ram. We'll see a lot of Reno Mahe and Ryan Moats. Bill told you about him out of Louisiana Tech. Off the play fake, the end around, double reverse. Go to the other side with Reggie Brown. Cuts it back, brought down, flag on the play. Brown gets up to the 34-yard line, and the flag is going to be against the Eagles. Trev Falk made the tackle. So a little razzle-dazzle from Andy Reid to start the game, but a penalty will cost the Eagles.
Illegal block in the back. Number 25, deep offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
It's on Lamar Gordon. There it is. Reno Mahe comes in at running back. He's a good receiver out of the backfield. Ball spotted back at the 19-yard line.
Good thought process, you know, with a fast defense and a young quarterback. You want to get rid of that pass rush, but bad outcome.
McMahon with a play fake and a completion to Billy McMullen for a first down at the 35. It's our first update of the day. Here's JB.
All right, Sam and Bill. Carolina looking to move a full game ahead of Tampa Bay. End around Steve Smith. First career rushing touchdown to cap that opening drive. 7-0 Panthers. Seattle can clinch a first-round bye with the victory. Opening drive, Matt Hasselbeck caps it off with that pass to Jeremy Stevens, 22 yards to Pater. 7-0 Seattle. Back to Sam Rosen and big Bill Moss.
Thanks, JB. Thanks. Play fake again by McMahon, being rushed, rolls and looks, throws, and too wide, intended for Greg Lewis. There is a flag on the play. One thing about Mike McMahon to this point, this is 5th consecutive start since Donovan McNabb went down.
Pass. Holding, number 31, defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's on Adam Archuleta, and a first down for the Eagles. He hasn't been accurate with his passing, hasn't hit 50% in any game that McMahon has started. And that's something that needs to be improved.
Well, one of the things you've seen early, and you're going to see throughout the course of this game on both sides of the football, is because these young quarterbacks are what they are, you're going to see him move the pocket a lot with bootlegs and roll out passes.
Straight ahead. Ryan Moats breaks the tackle. Rotes with good speed. Beautiful stiff arm. Moats breaks another tackle. Goes in. Touchdown. What a run by the rookie Ryan Moats. He had a 40-yarder last week. This one is 59 yards.
Hey, what are we talking about at the top of the show, Sam? Exciting young players. But, you know, look at this right here. Down the line of scrimmage, there's the contact by Toka Jackson. Wrap up. You're unblocked. You come down the line of scrimmage. Wrap up. And that's over. It's a tackle for no gain at the line of scrimmage, like the play was designed to do by your defense. You just have to finish.
Moats is listed at 5'10". He's probably shorter than that. Extra point by David Akers is
5'10".
good. But he's about 5'8", but he is solid, muscular, and he showed some strength. Making tackles. Longest run of the season for the Philadelphia Eagles. Ryan Moats, his 3rd touchdown in 2 weeks.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by Ford F-150, built Ford tough. By Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL. With Visa's multiple layers of security, you're protected. By Pizza Hut, home of the new More for All pizza. Gather around the good stuff. And by DirecTV, introducing the DirecTV Plus DVR that lets you record, pause, and rewind live TV with a touch of a button.
Nice quiet day for the Geese out on the pond there. David Akers will kick off as the Philadelphia Eagles stun the Rams with a great run by Ryan Moats. Akers' kick coming down to Chris Johnson at the 4. Johnson looking for a lane. The Eagles well covered. It's Mark Semino again. A lot of emotion shown early for the Eagles. Elation and celebration. Frustration for the Rams. Moats breaks some tackles and takes it in for the touchdown. Terry Bradshaw has a new hero, Ryan Moats.
You know what? He's made a believer out of me, too. What I've watched in the last 3 weeks has been very impressive. And he's a little guy. I mean, real little.
Yeah. Talked about Barry Sanders being his idol. Going up, flag starts, false start on the Rams.
You know,
second one.
When you're that small, you know, your idols are guys like Barry Sanders,
offense,
Doug
5-yard
Flutie,
penalty,
you know.
First down.
Though he did know Terry Bradshaw. He said, oh, Bradshaw's name, Louisiana Tech. Boy, brought all kinds of great quarterbacks there. But he became the all-time single-season rushing leader last year with a great year in his final year, Louisiana Tech. 2 tight ends in for the Rams. Steven Jackson at running back. 1st and 15 from the 18-yard line. Here's Jackson finding the hole. And Dhani Jones takes him down at the 22-yard line. Last week against the Giants, Ryan Moats put on a show. He carried the ball 11 times for 114 yards. Got to the outside with speed. Found the holes, busted through, broke tackles, scored 2 touchdowns. What a game.
He's got that arm going out there all the time. It's waving around.
Jackson carries. Nice run. Up to the 29-yard line. Steven Jackson has gone over 1,000 yards this season. First 1,000-yard running back for the Rams since Marshall Faulk in 2001.
You know, and for the Rams, you know, you talk about a change in offensive identity. I mean, they've had the ball for 2 possessions now. They've only gone for about 3 pass attempts. Right. I mean, heck, when's the last time you saw a Rams offense do that? Joe Vitt was serious when he said, it was my fault last week. I'm going to run the ball more.
Now he puts it up short in the hands of Torrey Holt.
That's uncharacteristic.
That was a catchable ball.
That's not Torrey Holt I know. And that signature route there, that slant route for this team. Well, I'll tell you, they come at it. If you're going to come with a blitz, or you're going to pressure a young quarterback, that ball is out so fast. It's before they even get to the 3rd step of a 3-step drop. They're hitting that slant. Once again, the false start hurt the Rams. This time it's 3 and out. And there is 41-year-old Brian Barker. Reno Mahe is deep to receive. Line drive kick. Mahe heads for the sideline, takes it on the move. Good return. Flag. And there is a flag down at around the 40-yard line. Mahe getting up close to midfield before he was brought down. And we'll check out the penalty. 17-yard return for Reno Mahe. And frustration. Looks like holding on the Eagles will bring the ball back.
During the return, holding. Receiving team, number 81, 10-yard penalty. First down, timeout.
It is on the Eagles. Earlier, it was Ryan Moats giving the Eagles the lead. After 4 straight appearances in the NFC Championship game, the Eagles are out of the playoffs. The Giants, with a big win over Kansas City yesterday, are on top of the NFC East. Dallas and Washington, 2nd game of our NFL on Fox doubleheader, a big one coming up next. You know, Bill, you can blame Terrell Owens for a lot of things that have happened for the Eagles this season. He was called for holding on that last return, number 81.
I was going to say anything. I didn't want to bring up anything, you know, that might cause a little controversy over there on the Eagles sidelines.
They called 81 holding.
Oh, boy.
He's not here, ladies and gentlemen.
That was a Freudian slip.
Andy Reid, it's been a tough year for him, but he's kept an even keel.
Oh, Andy will say Andy no matter what. He can't help but be Andy. Although that's a trimmer, thinner Andy than we're used to seeing.
He said he's lost 60 pounds.
I told him that was like taking a brick out of this building.
2nd and 10, 3 wide receivers in. Billy McMullen is in. The blitz coming. He gets rid of it to the tight end, L.J. Smith, and back there's a flag.
You got roughing the quarterback. McMahon just got drilled
by Corey Ivy. It was Ivy who was blitzing and never stopped.
The quarterback down after the pass was released. 15-yard penalty added on to the end of the run. First down.
That's a bad penalty.
Well, Corey Ivy comes on the blitz right here. McMahon keeps the thing alive, but he takes him, he grabs him, jumps on his back. You see him slam him down to the ground there, and that's a hard call to make from the referee position. And it's even harder for the defensive player because you don't know that he got rid of the ball. You don't know if he threw it, he tucked it, you don't know. And when you get your head in there, in his chest or in his back or in a part of it, you're not seeing what's happening. Your thought is get him down to the ground.
First down, Eagles at the Rams 49. Ryan Moats is in, 3 wide receivers. And it's Moats cutting back. There's a nice hole for him. Gets down to the 43-yard line. Time for an update on the Seattle Seahawks. What's happening, JB?
Hey, Sam, you know Sean Alexander trying to break the single-season touchdown record here. 52 yards on this drive here. He follows that up with his 24th touchdown of the season. You know, of course, Priest Holmes holds their single-season record with 27. Seattle on top, 14-0 over Tennessee. Back to Sam Rosen and Bill Moss.
It's like the road to the Super Bowl through the NFC will go through Seattle. Moats with a good run, but there's a flag down back at the line of scrimmage.
You got holding. You got holding.
Holding. Number 67 offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
It's on the center, Jamal Jackson.
You know, this little guy, Moats, is really impressive to me. You know, and the thing about it is he's a tough little dude, too. You know, he's all of 5'8", okay? And 210 pounds, I'm not buying that either. But you saw that run, and you've seen some of the highlights of the runs before. His low center of gravity and his tenacity enables him to be a hard guy to get your entire body on to bring to the ground.
Reggie Brown in motion. Fake the end around. McMahon puts it up deep. Way down, he's got Lewis, but he overthrows him.
And a flag's down.
Back in the backfield. Another holding call against the Eagles.
Holding, number 77 offense. Penalty is declined. Third down.
Artis Hicks on the call.
Watch Archuleta. He gets up in here. And that's when he gets on his back and drags him, tries to drag him down anyhow. But you know, the one thing about this Rams defense is they tend to bring a lot of pressure. And they're more suited to doing that given the youth and experience of this team. Better to give them one direction and say, here, go.
Eagles have to get to the Rams 38 for a first down. 3 wide receivers. McMahon steps up, moving, looking, and running. And he's got a shot at the first down. A good effort by Mike McMahon. He gets there. Good run by Mike McMahon for a first down.
You know, McMahon, he's something. You know, he's a guy, he's really high-strung. And he's impressive when I talk to him in the aspect that he knows he's not that good of a quarterback. And he's not looking to go someplace to be a starter. He came to Philadelphia to learn this offense behind Donovan McNabb. And then knowing that, you know, the good teams send off different coordinators to become head coaches, hoping that somewhere down the line a head coach would take him. He's an excitable guy and a guy that admits he likes to get hit.
On first down, he puts it up. And well covered was L.J. Smith, Trev Falk, and Adam Archuleta.
The only quarterback,
back.
Sam, I can remember that would say something like that would be Brett Favre. And when Brett Favre was young, he was a wildfire. He was a wild hare. You know, you had to find. Mike Holmgren was always trying to calm him down. And he'd start off games and he'd always be overthrowing his targets, sailing balls all up into the stands. Well, McMahon's a lot like that, too. And he said the first thing, he goes, I'd like to get hit to start a game. Because if I get hit, he says, I get my senses about me and really settle down my play.
There's 2nd and 10, blitz coming. And on the carry is Lamar Gordon. Draft pick of the St. Louis Rams. He spent 2 years in St. Louis, then went to Miami before joining the Eagles. And the run down to the 34-yard line.
When you have, you know, adversity with your team and you go through a bunch of different players, you find ways to make the best out of the situation. And for the Philadelphia Eagles and Andy Reid, he has different packages for each one of his running backs. See, you saw Lamar Gordon on that run. He's more of your power, off-tackle, downhill type runner. Now, Moats, he's your zone and perimeter guy.
Moats in now on 3rd and 6. The play fake end around to Greg Lewis. Lewis being chased. Corey Ivy gets there, whips him out of bounds. There is a flag downfield at the Rams 29-yard line. Ivy with a good tackle, but we check out the flag here.
I think you're going to have holding up here on the Eagles on the perimeter block on this reverse.
Holding, number 86 offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, third down.
Reggie Brown called for the hold. So the Eagles have been guilty of 3 holding penalties on this possession. And the head linesman was shaken up on the play.
But he gets a little leg whip. You know what?
Gary Slaughter is the official.
You never like to see that happen to an official. However, if it were to happen, I, for one in particular, wouldn't mind if it happened to the umpire.
Why?
Because I played at the defensive line, and when those offensive linemen leg whip you, it doesn't feel too good, and I'm talking for weeks.
Eagles have to get to the 28 for a first down. Play fake. McMahon steps up. Here comes Leonard Little and knocks the ball loose. Picked up by Lamar Gordon. And Gordon is knocked down at the 44-yard line.
That's third down. I believe they're going to spot this as an incomplete pass and keep the ball at the original line of scrimmage. I don't believe it was a fumble, even though the blue beanbag was thrown. I believe it's going to be, they're going to mark it at the spot of the fumble where he picked it up. I thought his arm was coming forward, and once you start that forward motion and you're hit, that would be an incomplete pass. Watch the arm coming right. See it? That was coming forward. That's really an incomplete pass.
Sean Landeta, his third game since re-signing with the Eagles, puts it in the end zone. 44-year-old Sean Landeta in his 21st NFL season. Got the call a couple of weeks ago. They've been through 4 punters this season with the Eagles. 43-yard punt, but only a net 23.
And see Landeta, you see how he has that single bar face mask? Check that out. See that? I mean, talking old school. That's old school. Well, the league stated, they came out, I forget, it was a few years back, and Landeta was still playing, that you couldn't wear a single bar face mask anymore. That you had to have, you know, at least 2 bars or some kind of face mask on there that the punters and kickers and quarterbacks wear, but it can't be single bar. Not like Theismann or not like, but he was grandfathered in because that's what he always wore, why he was still in the league. Then he was out for a little bit, but he came back in and at 44, correct, Sam? 44, yeah. He's back at it.
Now, the head linesman, Bill, Gary Slaughter, who was knocked down on that leg whip, is out of the game, and the game will be officiated by 6 officials.
Well, now you go to your college 6-man mechanics, and the officiating crew goes to 6 men. Now, what you miss is the back judge all the way in the middle of the back that covered the middle of the field.
Rams from the 20. Steven Jackson, Marshall Faulk is in, and he picks his way up to the 25-yard line. 5-yard pickup by Marshall Faulk.
No, you see, normally the 7th man is the back judge right back here. Okay, he's going to be at the top of the screen. He's not there. Now you have one here, one here, one here, one here, an umpire, and there's your referee. So there's your 6, and that's your 6-man mechanic.
It's got the fullback motion. They stop the play. Another false start on the Rams. It's their 3rd.
False start. Number 75 offense. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
5th penalty against the Rams. That's Claude Terrell, the rookie left guard out of New Mexico. We're going down to the sideline to Dan McLaughlin. Dan, what's going on?
It was Marshall Faulk on that last touch. Steven Jackson missing some time. He's not going to play on this series, apparently. He's out with a headache. Also a little bit of nausea. Could return in this game. Back to you, Sam.
I think you could say that about every coach and every player on both these teams.
Bench Dan. Straight ahead. Faulk cuts it back. It's across the 25 to the 26-yard line.
You know, when you're expected to be this time of year, this game especially, you looked at the schedule at the beginning of the year. Heck, even a month or so ago, you look at this game and you're thinking, hey, this is going to be a heck of a game. You know, playoff contentions and the rights for the NFC, and no matter what the case may be, you're thinking these 2 perennial playoff teams, and when you're not there, you might get headaches and nausea.
If they had turned 2 games around to 7-6, they'd be in the hunt for the wild card. Timeout is called by the Eagles.
Well, the Eagles have 9 players on the field.
That's not good.
No, that's not a good thing. Good thing they called timeout.
Fox tonight is the season for the all-new Simpsons Christmas special. Don't miss 3 magical stories like only the Simpsons can tell them. That's tonight at 8, 7 Central right here on Fox.
If I could have one thing for Christmas, Sam.
Yes? It would be one of those hats.
That's what I was thinking.
4 wide receivers. Flag goes down. Marshall Faulk out of the backfield. Leaning forward, reaching forward, comes up short of the 1st down. Donald Strickland made the stop for the Eagles.
Offside. Number 75 defense lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty results in a 1st down.
That's Juque Thomas, recently signed by the Eagles.
And, you know, Andy talked about it. You hear so much about windows of opportunity, you know, and for teams, how long are they? You have 3 years, 4 years to make your run, windows of opportunity. Andy Reid is trying to get his young guys playing out there to try to extend that window of opportunity.
It's the pre-holiday weekend, and we're here in St. Louis. Sam Rosen, Bill Moss, Dan McLaughlin. Glad you're with us. Hope you're all set for the big holidays coming up. Marshall Faulk remains in, as the Rams have a first down at their own 31-yard line. Otto Waliuna, the tight end, in motion. And the toss is to Marshall Faulk. Couple of blockers. The Eagles wrap him up at the 32-yard line. Marshall Faulk has been nursed along this season, not overplayed. He's remained healthy. He's accepted the role as more of a backup this year. Though I'm kind of surprised when they ran into some problems that they didn't start using him a little more, Bill.
Too much of a backup, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, when your offense sputters and Marshall Faulk isn't getting but about, 5 carries a game, I'd have to go back to him, knowing what he has done and is capable of doing, and still doing, I believe.
3 wide receivers in. Fitzpatrick swings it out to Faulk. Makes it in full stride. Nice game for a first down. Last week, he became the all-time leader in receiving yards among running backs. And he picks up 13 on that little swing pass.
Well, one of the things they talked about this week in particular was getting Marshall Faulk involved. Now, you're going to have a blitz come right here, okay? And you're going to have a stunt game going on. So when that happens, watch the blitz. Linebackers coming, see this? They know right away, or the quarterback, or what they instill in the quarterback, Ryan Fitzpatrick, right away, Marshall Faulk is going to be your hot look. Look for him. And you saw how quick Ryan got Faulk the ball.
Steven Jackson back in at running back. Isaac Bruce motions. It's Jackson. Not much of a hole. They pull him back. Hard. Mike Patterson, the rookie out of USC, who has been starting the last couple of games.
And I think what I'm seeing is good coaching by the Rams, and in particular Joe Vitt, because your head coach has to be the one to kind of be the hammer. You've got to be able to put the hammer down on your offense and defensive coordinators when it comes time to. And from what I saw, what they were doing with Ryan Fitzpatrick was they were putting the game in his hands. They didn't change what the Rams do. Well, when you have a young quarterback who's inexperienced and can cause you problems and turnovers like you saw in the last 2 weeks, you run the football.
Faulk motions. Jackson comes out of the backfield. Fitzpatrick goes way down for Hope. It's broken up and nearly intercepted. It falls free. Brian Dawkins came over from his safety position. A good job by him. Donald Strickland was there as well.
And you've seen the arm strength on that throw alone. It's there. But the problem is he was late in getting the ball there. You have to anticipate the break.
Young Ryan Fitzpatrick, a 7th-round draft pick out of Harvard, actually worked out with the New England Patriots. Thought the Patriots would draft him. They passed him up. And the Rams picked him in the 7th round. Talking to Mike Lawrence on Friday, he liked him a lot. The pass is complete to Sean McDonald just across midfield for the Eagles' 49-yard line. Ryan Fitzpatrick was the backup to Jamie Martin. He got hurt. In came Fitzpatrick in Houston, threw 3 touchdown passes, passed for over 300 yards. But then the next week, the Redskins had a line on him. They sacked him 3 times and shut him down. And then last week, with a game in his hands, he threw 5 interceptions in Minnesota. And the Vikings beat the Rams. That's when Joe Fitz said he need to take the ball out of his hands. Ryan Barker's second punt of the game. Reno Mahe with a fair catch at the 13-yard line. The Eagles on offense when we come back after a 36-yard punt. That's Mike McMahon leading his team onto the field.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by State Farm. Great service, great rates. That's why 40 million drivers trust State Farm. By Cadillac, introducing the new 2006 DTS, Cadillac Breakthrough. By Fun with Dick and Jane, starring Jim Carrey and Tay Leone, in theaters December 21st. And by Samsung, the official HD TV of the NFL.
Important game in the race for the playoffs in the NFC coming up in our second game of today's Fox NFL doubleheader. Dallas at Washington. Right here from the 14. Lamar Gordon taken down. Nice tackle by Corey Ivy. Ivy's been in the backfield a couple of times.
A lot of what the Rams have to do on defense, and I was talking about it earlier, is they have to be aggressive. You know, they're better suited with what they have on the defensive side of the football right now to blitz every down, because at least they're giving their young guys a direction to go at full speed. If you sit back and play regular defense, they have to think too much. And for these guys right now, I don't think that's best suited for them.
Ryan Moats in the backfield with Josh Perry, the fullback. They stop the play. It's a false start on the Eagles this time.
False start, number 77 offense. 5-yard penalty, second down.
6 penalties on the Eagles already. That's on Artis Hicks, the left guard. The ball comes back to the 7-yard line.
It's always good to put a young quarterback in a 2nd and 17 situation, backed up against your end zone.
Joe Vitt sending out the defensive signals.
Joe Vitt sending out a dog, I bet.
Steven Spock, number 41, is in as a second tight end, along with L.J. Smith. The play fake, McMahon steps out of the end zone and throws. Intercepted by Pisa Tinui Samoa. Inside the 10 to the 5-yard line. Big turnover. He threw in the middle of the field, and Tinui Samoa with the pick.
Hawaii 5-0. Check him out. I love the way this guy plays the game of football. He is by far and away, in my opinion, the best player on the defense for the Rams this year. Dropping in the zone, looking at his responsibilities, counting receivers from his outside in, and knowing where the quarterback is going to go with the ball.
Big turnover early in the game. Second interception of the season for Tinui Samoa.
In New Orleans, Todd Bowman with only his 4th ever NFL start, hooking up with Dante Stallworth, a 23-yard strike for the score. That made it 7-all between the Carolina Panthers and the New Orleans Saints. Let's take it back to Sam Rosen and Bill Maas.
Thanks, JB. And right now, a bad injury to the rookie left tackle, Todd Herremans, as they have brought the cart out on the field. Head coach Andy Reid has come over to check things out. And let's see what happened here, Bill.
This isn't good. There he is right there, and you're going to see this hit. Doesn't look like anything right there. But whatever happened at the beginning of that hit is pretty doggone severe.
Yeah. There's the head coach, Andy Reid. They've already had injuries to the offensive line with Hank Fraley on injured reserve, Trey Thomas, Todd Herremans. Last year was playing at a Division II school, Saginaw Valley State, a 4th-round draft pick. Here he is starting, and now suffers a left leg injury. Yesterday, there was a lot of activity in the NFL. 3 games. New England Patriots shut down Chris Sims and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with a 28-0 win. The Giants, led by Tiki Barber's 220 yards rushing, defeated Kansas City 27-17. And last night, after a slow start, Jake Plummer and his guys, look at Rod Smith, come down with the ball as Denver beat Buffalo in Buffalo. The Patriots, they have clinched the division in the AFC East, going 9-5. I wouldn't like to play the Patriots in the playoffs.
No, they're a hot team right now, and they're a team that I believe is under the radar. And when you're under the radar in the NFL, you're in a good situation at the end of the season.
People thought they were down. They are playing well now. Todd Herremans, the young tackle. Eagles have, excuse me, Bill, Eagles have 12 players on IR this season. Add a couple on the PUP list, couple with non-football injuries, and the coach's son, and the rehab room's pretty crowded.
Well, here comes another one. Make room.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by UPS. What can Brown do for you?
Juan Castillo, the offensive line coach for the Philadelphia Eagles right here. I'll tell you, he's had a tough year. You lose Trey Thomas and all the injuries you had. You lose Harold Fraley down inside. And moments ago, Todd Herremans. Now, along with that, you deactivated Scott Young and backup tackle Calvin Armstrong for today's game.
Here are the Rams from the 5, 1st and goal off the play fake. Fitzpatrick throws to the corner. Sliding catch is made by Torrey Holt. Touchdown, Rams. He beat Brian Dawkins on the play for his 8th receiving touchdown of the season.
Nice ball. Nice ball, nice throw by young Ryan Fitzpatrick. He anticipated the break. You remember what I was talking about before? Anticipating things? He threw that ball to the spot where he knew that Torrey Holt would come back to and get it before he made his break.
Holt has now caught a pass in 103 consecutive games. Jeff Wilkins' extra point is good. He has 307 consecutive extra points made. Holt against the veteran Dawkins, and a nice throw, nice catch, and the Rams have the lead 10-7.
There's Torrey Holt at the top of the screen. Now watch Fitzpatrick and what he does. You're going to see the fake inside. Now there's throwing to the spot, so Holt will come back to it. You've heard about quarterbacks throwing to a spot. Well, actually, it's just anticipating, knowing where your receiver is going to end up, because you and he know the route. The defense doesn't.
Wilkins kick to Roderick Hood at the 5. Hood goes right, finds the wedge, and a good tackle by Corey Ivy, who's had a good game in spite of a penalty that he took.
Well, if you're going to play quarterback for the Rams, you have to know these routes here. There's the hitch to the outside. Then there's the deep out. A lot of perimeter passes, as we talked about. The deep in. You get a corner, and then you get the post route. Moments ago, what you saw was a post flag. Selling that inside like he's coming inside and cutting back outside to the out.
Artis Hicks has moved to left tackle. Adrian Clark is in at left guard with the Harriman's injury. That pass intended for L.J. Smith was incomplete. Juan Gross was the closest man to the ball. There is number 61, Adrian Clark, second-year man out of Ohio State, a 7th-round draft pick last year. He steps in. And Artis Hicks at 6'4", 335 moves outside to tackle. Mike McMahon just 2 for 6, 15 yards and 1 interception. Reno Mahe in the backfield. Mahe. Brandon Chiller with the stop at the 29-yard line.
And Reno Mahe, his role, remember we were talking about the roles that the different running backs have? His role is he's a good pass route runner. He understands the pass routes and the conversion within a pass route, where the young Ryan most sucks. So he's in a lot of passing downs. He also runs a lot of the inside things like the draw play.
2 tight ends in. Excuse me, 1, it's L.J. Smith. 2 men in the backfield with McMahon. Pick up the blitz. Now they try through it. And the tackle made. It's Corey Ivy again. Spending most of the afternoon in the Eagles' backfield.
Did you see him showing his number? He faced the camera and he was showing a number. And this is what I'm talking about. They like to blitz. And they're better suited to do that. And you like to put pressure on a young quarterback.
Second sack of the season for Corey Ivy. Landetta's punt taken at the 35 by Dane Looker. It's back up to the 40-yard line. And the Rams with good field position and a 10-7 lead. Pressure on McMahon. He's sacked by Corey Ivy. We invite you to spend the Christmas weekend with us on Fox Saturday afternoon. The big schedule. Cowboys at Carolina, Giants at Washington, Atlanta at Tampa Bay. And then Sunday, Christmas Day, 5 o'clock Eastern, 2 Pacific. Bill and I will be, along with Chris Myers, I think he's joining us, in Green Bay for a Christmas Day special. Join us, the Bears and the Packers. It's always a great game. Rams from the 40-yard line. Steven Jackson has run for 72 yards thus far. Pressure on Fitzpatrick. Nice move away from the pressure and a good throw for a first down as he completes to Isaac Bruce. Those aren't boos, that's Bruce. The call from the stands.
Sheldon Brown, a fine cornerback in this league. He had one-on-one coverage over there with Isaac Bruce on the comeback route. He slipped. Watch. He turns. He's running with him. And watch right here. See that slip? He slipped when he's making his break, and that's what actually gave the separation. That field, the blades of that artificial turf are long.
Jackson will tackle on the play by Mark Seminoes in at middle linebacker. Let's go to the sideline to Dan McLaughlin. Dan?
Well, Sam, we normally update the injuries of players. Well, this one is for the head linesman, Gary Slaughter. Of course, he was in that collision on the Eagles sideline. He has broken his leg, and it's safe to say that he's not going to return this afternoon.
Oh, boy. That's bad. So even the officials take a pounding. Thanks for the report, Dan. Two tight ends in for the Rams. And it's Jackson with three blockers. Cuts it back. Breaks a couple of tackles. A first down.
Fumble, ball was out, and he fell right on top of it, Sam.
Hard run by Steven Jackson.
You know, you talk about the way the ball bounces, how the ball bounces. Well, this is how the ball bounced in the favor of the Rams. Ball is going to be out. And it hits the ground. It's out there. It hits the ground and lands right underneath his shoulder pad.
Good break. Brian Dawkins with the hard hit to force the fumble. Jackson staying right with it. First down Rams at the Eagles 37. Three wide receivers in. Kevin Curtis is the third. Off the play fake. Fitzpatrick. Deep for Sean McDonald, but thrown wide and incomplete.
Check out that time of possession. Yeah. And Joe Vitt said this is what he's going to do. He says, I need to have the discipline to do this. And, you know, to be honest with you, you've heard that so much out of both Philadelphia and St. Louis over the years. They always tell you they're going to run the ball. But they never do. They just never do. They can't help themselves. And their own players laugh about it. It's a joke amongst the players.
Joe told us he wrote up a list to maintain his discipline.
Did he check it? Did he check it twice?
I don't know. So far it looks that way, but here's another false start.
5-yard penalty, second down.
Orlando Pace.
And for years, when you talk about, especially the St. Louis Rams, what they liked it done on offense. I mean, heck, it was air it out. Air it out, keep slinging, and we'll settle it as the dust clears. And they didn't care about turnovers or giveaways or any of that stuff. They just kept slinging.
And it's catching up to him. Swing it out to Marshall Faulk. And he lunges forward to the 38-yard line. Faulk, who's been one of the greats of all time in the top 10 all-time rushing, #1 in receiving yardage among running backs in NFL history. A complete package and a great team player. You talk to both of these coaches, they're very happy with the character leadership in the locker room.
Well, Philadelphia is now.
Yeah. So settle down. Fitzpatrick takes off and ran head on into Javon Curse just across the 35-yard line. It'll bring up a fourth down. And Jeff Wilkins has come on, and this will be a long field goal try.
Ah, the advantages of playing in the dome.
Wilkins will try from 53. Chris Massey, the long snapper. Dane Looker is the holder. And from 53, it's on the way. And it is good. Jeff Wilkins with his longest of the season. 53 yards. He's 2 for 2 today. 22 for 24. His 18th career 50-yard field goal.
That just made it. Jeff Wilkins, boy, that's the if the ball wasn't turning right properly as it crossed that crossbar, it may not have gotten there. But I want you to watch where this thing comes at the line of scrimmage. Look, it was just above the line of scrimmage. You saw the push and penetration right there. Well, that's all fine and just. But if you don't have somebody in there with their hands up at the line of scrimmage, there's no sense in getting the push.
No big men got up there. Wilkins got it away cleanly. He's 2 for 2 in the game. There's Wilkins kicking off. Roderick Hood takes it at the 2. Hood started right, comes left. There's a flag on the play. And Hood is down at the 24-yard line.
Justin
Ina going to be brought back.
Number 50, Justin Ina.
During the return, holding number 41 of the receiving team.
Spock.
10-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
The young tight end gets called on the hold. Looking around the league, Chicago Bears play tonight at home against the Atlanta Falcons. Minnesota is tied with Pittsburgh 3-3. 9 minutes to go in the second quarter in that game. Minnesota 1 game behind the Bears, and those 2 teams meet the last game of the season in Minnesota. Lamar Gordon and Josh Parry in the backfield. The Eagles start from the 14-yard line. Gordon pushes his way up to close to the 18-yard line. Picked up about 4 on the play.
You know, the Eagles got a guy that I just love. I love number 73, Shawn Andrews. Now, he's going to pull all 400-plus pounds of him. Watch him pull, getting out here. And doink. And this guy here, if he didn't have Spock back there, or is that Perry, to hold him up, he would have been knocked out. This guy is enormous, first of all. But what a fun, entertaining guy to be around.
They listed him at 340. He told us he weighed in Friday at 378. Weight is a problem. Moats lost the ball and then pushes it out of bounds.
We got a flag out, too.
Corey Ivy was right there to make the play on Moats, and he punched the ball loose. Boy, Ivy's had himself quite an active game for the Rams. He's been everywhere.
During the run, 5-yard face mask on the defense. The runner fumbled the ball, can legally bat the ball backwards and out of bounds. Will enforce 5 yards from the spot where the ball went out of bounds. Repeat second down.
All right.
There's the face mask. That's the 5 yards. Now, you see this when it's batted out of bounds.
Smart play.
Yeah. Yep. He can do that, but it's going to spot it at where it goes out of bounds. So the ball, as you heard the lead talk about, is going to be 5 yards because of the face mask penalty from where it went out of bounds.
Second down at the 20-yard line. Moats still in it, running back. McMahon checking off. And it's Moats behind Perry, but the Rams are there. No gain on the play. Tinoe Samoa, the leading tackler on the Rams, the first one there.
Well, take a look. Not much happened on the play, but watch Shawn Andrews. Look at the size of him, and look at the impact he gets here first. There's a wall. Boink. He just turns the nose tackle, and then he's trying to get up here on Brandon Schiller. Now watch at the end of the play. I mean, the guy really is just a mauler. He's a road grader. And if he gets his hands and his 420 on you, it's over.
3rd and 4 for the Eagles. McMahon looking and gets it to Greg Lewis. Good catch. First down at the 26-yard line. That was a good throw by McMahon. Put it in good position for Lewis.
When you have time, time's the key. Now look at the pressure. Here's a pass rush right here. And now watch Andrews. Bam! Just stoned them. Now when you're coming off the ball as a defensive lineman and you just get stoned, That means your feet don't go another inch. You know you got one heck of a problem all day long.
Good block on Tyoka Jackson by Sean Andrews.
It's funny, he was talking to me, he goes, I said, well, what's the weak part of your game? He said, you may not have noticed, but I got a weight problem.
He is aware of it.
I thought it was something out of Stripes.
McMahon rolls, and the catch made by Reggie Brown. Nice catch at the 35-yard line. Picks up 8 on the play.
And he talked to Andrews was talking about his weight problem, and he talked about Andy Reid, and they're always bantering each other back and forth about losing weight. And he lives with his mother, and his mother is on him all the time. Every time she hears that refrigerator door open, she's on him. What do you mean? You can't have that. But I said, what time does your mom go to bed? He said, about 8 o'clock. I said, that's when you do the damage, don't you? He said, you know it.
Here's Moats behind Perry. He's got a first down up at the 38-yard line.
Funny kid, laughable, just very personable and very generous,
and
too.
Very much involved with kids.
Yeah.
He's very much involved donating money to kids programs, and quietly doesn't want attention made to it.
If you want to do something to feel good about yourself, and it's something that is near and dear to his heart, he did. $5,000. He went out and got kids and gave kids that weren't going to have a Christmas in the inner city of Philadelphia a Christmas.
Woo! Make a big noise about it, just got it done. First down, Eagles. Moats. And the Rams wrap him up. Good defensive coverage that time by the Rams. Trev Falk, the middle linebacker, in on the stop. Falk is taking over for Chris Claiborne, who's been banged up the last couple of weeks. Claiborne is dressed today, but has not seen any action. Reno Mahe comes in on the 2nd and 11 for the Eagles, and Mahe splits out wide left as they go with only the fullback, Josh Perry, in the backfield. Blitz coming, they got him. Wow. Flying in and doing the dance. Anthony Hargrove, defensive end, but he came up the middle. 3rd sack of the game.
Well, he came
for
up the
Rams.
middle. There was a stunt. And what they do is they bring Adam Archuleta. He's going to come creeping up. Here's Archuleta. Now watch him come creeping up into the picture here. Now when they do this, now you have a weak side blitz. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 guys coming on the blitz to the weak side where you only have really 3 guys there to do it. A tackle, a guard, and the running back. So that's why they call it an overload blitz. And when you had that come, you got more people coming to that side than they got blockers. The result's usually going to end up just like that.
2-minute warning with the Rams leading.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by Hummer. Check out the new H3. Hummer, like nothing else.
And don't miss Family Guy, an all-new Family Guy tonight at 9, 8 Central, right here on Fox. 3rd and long. Eagles have to get to the 48 for a first down. McMahon throws short, almost gave it to the Rams. It's incomplete.
Wow.
He overthrew Reno Mahe with a bad pass. And it was almost picked off by Ron Bartell, the rookie cornerback.
Oh, these two weren't on the same page here, obviously. And the thing about it is, too, you see how far right he was thrown? Look at McMahon's feet, the way his feet were. He threw that. His feet weren't set and pointed toward his target.
Third punt of the game for Sean Landetta. Dane Looker on the return. Heads to the sideline, but the Eagles take him down. Good coverage on the play. Darnarian McCants, number 85, the first man down. Keith Adams was there as well. NFC's top teams, only 6 teams make the playoffs. The division leaders, Seattle is tied with Tennessee right now. Giants won yesterday. Chicago plays tonight. Carolina leading against New Orleans by 10. Tampa Bay lost yesterday. Dallas and Washington coming up. Washington is 7-6. They're right outside of that group. Minnesota tied with Pittsburgh late in the first half, 3-3. 4 wide receivers for the Rams. Fitzpatrick works out of the shotgun and hands off inside. Steven Jackson. Excuse me, that's Marshall Faulk on the run. My apologies. Marshall Faulk with a 20-yard run.
Well, the way he hit the hole at the speed, it looked like It looked like Steven Jackson. I mean, and that thing opened up so quickly. Watch the draw right here. Here's Falk, and there, see the hole? See that alley that just opened up that quickly?
Longest run of the season, Marshall Falk. Fitzpatrick's pass is caught by Sean McDonald, and he's down at the Eagles' 46-yard line.
Pass rush lanes are so important when it comes to responsibilities of giving up a passing lane or a draw lane. The Eagles on the play before that got out of their lanes very quickly.
On second down, Fitzpatrick throws, flag on the play. Kevin Curtis gets enough for the first down, but I believe this is coming back.
Personal foul, shot block, number 70.
Wow.
Offense, 15-yard penalty, second down.
That's on Alex Barron, the rookie right tackle.
A lot of times what happens with the tackle, you see, he's got that confused look on his face, you know? But a lot of times what happens, he's going to be up here, is you'll miss your block. Well, no, he set this up as a cut block. He's going to cut right there. But what happens is Timmerman was pulling at the same time that he was cutting. And there was contact high and low. And anytime that happens, flag's going to come out.
Second and 20. Fitzpatrick throws, completes to Torrey Holt. Wanted to get out of bounds. He did not. He's up at the 44-yard line.
I think.
Did he make it out?
I think he did. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought he did.
Clock stopped with 57 seconds remaining.
No body part touched on the field of play, and that's a heads-up play by Torrey Holt. You know, so many times now we do game, Sam. We see poor clock management down the stretch by players and coaches and what they do. I mean, he knew exactly where he was on the field and what the situation was.
Rams have to get to the Eagles 41. The blitz coming. Fitzpatrick got rid of it to Falk. He's brought down at the 48. That's quite a play, but a good tackle on the play.
Well, blitz was on. Remember we were talking about earlier that when the blitz is on, they're going to check it down to Marshall Falk. Watch the backside. I mean, they get there quickly. He has people all over him.
The defensive end, Trent Cole, made the tackle. Now the Eagles call timeout as they will get the ball back.
And what happened with they met at the quarterback, but Fitzpatrick didn't go down, and Sheldon Brown and Brian Dawkins, they ran into each other.
And they both go off to the sideline slowly. And will be checked out, as you can see. Dawkins right leg and Brown right leg. Third punt of the game for Brian Parker. Aiming for the sideline. Mahe lets it bounce, and it does bounce out of bounds off an Eagle player.
Was it an Eagle player? I thought it might have been a Ram. Thought it might have been an illegal touch. It's going to hit the heels of. That's the last play. Now watch these two guys. Everybody's piled on top of one another there. But how about Fitzpatrick in the midst of all that, finding Marshall Falk and delivering the ball? I thought that was pretty sweet.
That was quite a play. But it came up short. And now the Eagles with the ball at the 17-yard line. And 36 seconds remaining. They have one timeout remaining. Reno Mahe in the backfield. Short drop by McMahon. Low throw. And they rule it a catch.
Yeah, would that ball hit the ground?
I thought it might have, but they ruled it a catch. It's a 1-yard gain up to the 18-yard line.
You know, the Eagles aren't more consistent with their run game. And if they don't start grinding it out a little bit more, you know, there's not much that really scares you about the Eagles' offense. You know, they're not explosive. I don't know if they have the time.
Other than Ryan Moats, he's the explosion in their offense.
Yeah.
They let the time run out, and we've come to the end of the first half. The Rams scored first on a Jeff Wilkins field goal. The Eagles got the 59-yard touchdown run by Ryan Moats to take the lead. Then the Rams on the interception by Pisatino Isamoa were set up at the 5-yard line, and the touchdown pass from Fitzpatrick to Torrey Holt gave them the lead, and then Jeff Wilkins with a 53-yard field goal to make it 13-7. Brown and Dawkins jog off. They're okay after their little collision at the quarterback. And Andy Reid heads for the locker room. His team's offense sluggish in the first half. We'll be back with the Rams leading the Eagles 13-7. Welcome back to St. Louis. And we wish you all the best of the holiday season. Rams with a 13-7 lead over the Philadelphia Eagles. This is a game that really doesn't mean all that much as far as this season is concerned, but both of these teams have to think about next season. What about the Eagles? Where do they go from here, Bill?
Well, I think Andy's doing about it the right way. The main part is that he's getting young guys in to see what they can do. Some of it he has to because there's nobody else to play the position due to injuries. And the other part of it is he wants to just bring guys up to see where you are. Some of your young draft choices that you made this year was coming into a veteran team. You knew you weren't going to get much from them or see much of them. Now he has an opportunity to evaluate them. Now, for the Rams, they're in a different story. I think for the Rams, things appear on the surface anyhow to be unsettled. You know, you're really not sure what's going to happen with Mike Martz, with Joe Vitt as an interim coach, with the coaching staff. Is it going to be new? Is it going to be different? And once that's settled, I think then you can move forward. But until that's settled, there's no step forward. It's kind of just you're just doing what you can do for now.
Jeff Wilkins kicks off. Roderick Hood from the 8-yard line on the return. There's a lane. It closes up quickly. Good tackle on the play. And we go to the sideline to Dan McLaughlin.
All right, Sam, having a chance to visit with both sidelines. Todd Harrimans is the only injury that we can update after the first 2 quarters. And looking ahead here in the second half, Joe Vitt said, look, this is one of our most consistent games that we've had so far. Steven Jackson is going to pound the football. They'd like to get a little bit more touches from Marshall Faulk as well. Sam?
Thanks, Dan. Eagles start from the 28-yard line. Mike McMahon, quarterback. And Ryan Moats getting across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Pickup of 2 on the play. Ryan Moats, who had the big run, and as Bill mentioned, 3 different backs rotating.
Well, and then that was the perimeter run. That was Moats. Now he just went to the sidelines, and in comes Gordon. And Reno Mahe is split out wide. So you anticipate a pass here.
And the throw to the sideline, and up goes Greg Lewis, and he made the catch. Beautiful catch by Lewis at midfield. Pickup of 18 on the play. Juan Gross was covering. 3rd catch of the game by Greg Lewis.
Now in comes 2 tight ends, and you leave Lamar Gordon in the game. So what are you going to get?
Looks like a run.
Sure.
And a challenge flag has been thrown by Joe Vitt.
He wants
on
to
the Rams
see
sideline
if there was possession by Greg Lewis in the field of play. Not a bad challenge by Joe Vitt. Even though we didn't see all the replays of it yet, it's not a bad challenge. And I'll tell you why. The reason is that was a big first down for him on their side of the 50 for the most part, or at the 50. And you saw both the side judge, okay?
The ruling on the field was the receiver had 2 feet in bounds. St. Louis is challenging the ruling on the field. We'll review.
And the reason I was saying it's a good challenge by Joe Vitt, because you saw the head judge linesman come running up and the side judge. Remember, this is a 6-man mechanic due to the injury that occurred. I don't know if he got 2 feet in bounds.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 40.
Bill Levy ready with the ruling.
After reviewing the play, the receiver only got 1 foot down in bounds. It'll be 3rd and 7 on the 32. With the clock operator put 14-19 on the game clock. 14-19, please.
Great call. He got it right. Bill Levy got it right. It was a great challenge by Joe Vitt. Clearly only 1 foot down. Now, The reason it was such a good call is they couldn't see it from this side of the field, and there was no replay up on the big board. But that was a side of the field where the head linesman was injured. Gary Slaughter broke his leg there as a player was thrown into him earlier. So they had to move the side judge, Don Carlson, up to head linesman, and the back judge over to side judge. So that's new positions for them.
On 3rd and 7, McMahon under pressure throws too low. Intended for Greg Lewis. He caught it on a short hop. It's incomplete. Take a look at some first half numbers. The Rams rushing for 122 yards, led by Steven Jackson. That's what Joe Vitt wanted to do, is run the ball and take it out of the hands of Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Well, look at these numbers there.
Yeah.
15 and 63 on passing yards for the Eagles and the Rams. Now who in their wildest dreams would have thought that?
Number 23 offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
They ruled that on Ryan Moats, a false start. Meanwhile, the ball was snapped by Mike Bartram. Sean Landeta saw it whiz by his shoulder. They move it back 5. There is the veteran Sean Landeta. Played with the Giants, 3.5 years with the Rams. His first stint, and 2 years his second stint. Good punt. Dane Looker way back to the 19. Has some room to return. Slips. He goes down at the 30-yard line. He had room for a big return. Always have to stay alert. They stopped the play on a false start. Everybody stopped it. Whoa, Sean, watch out.
Scared him.
13-7. Rams lead the Eagles.
A little help.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by the Citi Simplicity Credit Card. Citi, live richly.
Second game of our Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader. Dallas and Washington. Drew Bledsoe led Dallas to the win over Kansas City. Clinton Portis last week leading Washington over Arizona. They stopped the play. False start on the Rams. They've had 5 of them in this game.
Number 75 offense. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
Claude Terrell, the rookie left guard, called again. 9 penalties in the game on the Rams. Joe Vitt can't be.
You know what Joe Vitt was talking about when he talked about his guys? He says he was talking about Alex Barron and Claude Terrell, and he was saying, you know, as soon as I'm sitting here, I'm bragging about them. These guys are going to have false starts and jump off sides, but I'm telling you, they're going to be good.
On 1st and 15, Steven Jackson nowhere to go. Decides to go straight ahead, picks up a couple on the play. Keith Adams with the tackle. I think Joe Vitt was a good choice to take over from Mike Martz. He's got a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of energy, and he motivates the players very well.
I'll tell you something. This guy is really something, and the job he has done. He was the assistant head coach. So if something happens to the head coach, it's your team. And I don't know if anybody could have done a better job, and I mean anybody in the league, of what he had to deal with and keep this team together and on track.
Jackson, nothing there. Another good tackle. Well played by Dhani Jones.
And what a guy, too, Joe Vitt. So the personality that he has. And I can sympathize with everything he talks about and relates to. He talks about his Philadelphia connection, his time in Philadelphia, his buddies. He grew up in Jersey. And, you know, if you're from that neck of the woods, you understand what I'm talking about. And he's talking about all his buddies, and they don't leave you alone. And there's really, you know, with your buddies back there, there's no respect for much, you know? And they're calling him up, wanting to know about the game and what's going on. And
there's 3rd and long. Fitzpatrick being blitzed, trying to screen pass to Marshall. Falk, did he drop?
And a flag.
And it's going to be roughing the passer on Darwin Walker. It will give the Rams a 1st down.
There were 2 fouls on the defense. Offside, number 93. Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 97. Extending his arms, knocking the quarterback to the ground after release of the ball. 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
See, when there's 2 penalties, they'll take the penalty that is the most severe. See a little game they had there with Javon Curse and Darwin Walker.
Walker, who has not had a good season after having a good year last year, was benched last week, was back in the starting lineup today. 9 penalties on the Eagles. Now the Rams with a first down at the 42-yard line. Marshall Faulk in the backfield.
You know, a lot of times guys just are trying to do too much when they see the team and the things that have happened to it. Losing after coming off the Super Bowl has a lot of effects.
Fitzpatrick, the pass too high for Isaac Bruce. Good pressure that time by Hollis Thomas.
In different ways, Sam. You know, in different ways and different effects of, you know, guys are trying to do, some guys are trying to do more than they really should be doing. Some guys, it's hurt and they're embarrassed, and some guys will fold a tent.
Give it up.
Yeah. And some guys will, you know, do sit-ups in your driveway. But it's going to have a different effect on everybody.
On the 42 on second down, draw play to Faulk, spins away from Walker, spins again. There's a flag on the play as he gets across midfield, but that run might be negated. A beauty by Marshall Faulk.
Personal foul, face mask, number 44 of the offense. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
Face mask on the fullback, Madison Hedgecock.
See, and I bet a lot of you out there thought a face mask could only be from a defensive player. Truth of the matter is, and it can be on an offensive line, it can be on anybody if you're caught. There's
right there. Yep.
The hands in the face mask and your fingers are curled around it.
Grab the face mask of Mark Semino, and the Rams are moved back to the 31-yard line. It was interesting when we were talking with Sheldon Brown yesterday, the young cornerback of the Eagles, and asked him, what are your thoughts about this season? And he said, sit-ups in the driveway.
I think a lot of people will tie that and the Philadelphia Eagles season this year together.
From the 31, it's Faulk cutting it back and getting up to the 35-yard line. Time for an update. This man doesn't do sit-ups in the driveway. Let's go to JB.
Hey, but I need to, Sam. Take a look at Tennessee. Steve McNair hooking up with Drew Bennett. That's the go-ahead touchdown. 24 unanswered points by Tennessee, up by 10 over Seattle. Sam, by the way, how did the hockey action with your son go, buddy?
Thanks, JB. Very, very well. And his team came back to win in a shootout. Thanks, JB. Wow. Seattle 11-2, falling behind after leading 14-0. Marlon Harris picks up the blitz. Fitzpatrick going long, and it's too far. He showed some arm strength there as he overthrew Torrey Holt.
Well, he had one-on-one with his wide receivers all downfield and a bunch of go routes, one to this side and two to the far side, and it was a blitz on, and that's why there was man-to-man coverage downfield.
And it's Joe Vitt with some words to the officials, some tough words. I think he wanted a penalty on Roderick Hood, who was covering Torrey Holt on the play. Ryan Parker's fourth punt toward the sideline, out of bounds. Spot it at the 29-yard line is where the Eagles take over. Their offense has been one long run. Boy, this is a great time to be outdoors and go for a skate. Mike McMahon, who is 5 for 12 for just 31 yards passing. Christmas Day. Chris Myers will be in Lambeau Field in Green Bay. Bears and Packers, hope you'll join us. That pass incomplete. Intended for Billy McMullen. There is Mike Furry, one-time wide receiver.
You talk about some of the problems that occurred during the season. You're right. One-time wide receiver. How about his whole life wide receiver on the offensive side of the ball? Until this offseason, right before training the draft, he was called into Mike Martz's office and said, hey, we want you on the other side of the ball.
They like him on the field. That dump off is to Gordon. He's hit, the ball popped loose. Ron Bartell with a tackle. It's ruled a fumble. Leonard Little recovered. Bartell with the good hit on Lamar Gordon.
And Andy Reid's going to try to throw that flag, I promise you. He's waiting for his call upstairs.
They have ruled a fumble and a recovery by the Rams. boy, that's close. The challenge flag has been thrown. It looked like the ball was coming out, Bill.
Yeah, I didn't see any body parts.
That it was a fumble. We'll review the play.
Well, it was called a fumble, but there's actually challenges if it's down by contact.
That's correct. We'll be back.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge. By Zales. Be brilliant this holiday with a gift from Zales. By the new Campbell's Chunky Fajita Soups. Hearty soups that fill you up right. And by the LeBrons and Nike.
Here's Bill Levy with the ruling.
The play, the ball came out of the runner's hands before his knee hit down. It is a fumble. Philadelphia will be charged their first time out.
The explanation from the referee, no visual evidence strong enough to overturn the call on the field.
Oh, it was close. It was a heck of a call on the field, too. Check out his right leg. It's going to be the closest one to being down. But as you see it, his leg's down, the ball is out.
Second turnover of the game for the Eagles, none for the Rams. Falk, nice hole, and here he goes. Falk inside the 25. Strong run. Keith Adams brings him down. Pickup of 13 on the play.
Watch this counter trap. Watch the backside guard. This is called a counter O. You've heard of power O. Well, this is a counter because of the counter action. Look at that block right there. That opens it up, and then Hedgecock, he follows it up with a block on the linebacker up in the hole. Those two blocks are what sprung that opening for Marshall Falk.
8 carries, 55 yards for Marshall Falk. Arlen Harris splits out wide left. Falk waits and then busts loose. He turned nothing into a 12-yard run. Michael Lewis takes him down.
And just seeing what he's done so far on this field. You see how excited Torrey Holt is about the play of Marshall Falk. Just seeing today is enough for me to question, you know, this guy, if you're not winning games and you need productivity, I don't know how you cannot go to old number 28. When I was seeing he was averaging about 5 touches a game for this year, I was shocked.
Arlen Harris is the tailback down. It's Harris carrying. He spins in the arms of Juque Thomas at the 12-yard line. Steven Jackson rushed for 85 yards in the first half. He's been out thus far in the second half, complained of headaches earlier. He has not come back. Marshall Falk has been running very, very well, and he's run for 67 yards. 4 wide receivers in on second down at the 12-yard line. Empty backfield. Harris is in the slot. Here it comes. The blitz coming. The pass batted up in the air, falls incomplete.
Wow.
And the Eagles came hard. Matt Ware, cornerback, and Trent Cole coming in strong, and one of them got the ball.
Just take a listen to what's on the field. The Eagles show a variety of alignments. Fire, fire. You heard the call there, fire, fire. Now with the blitz coming on and the movement up front, they're waiting to see the counter action of the St. Louis Rams offense. When they didn't shift into anything or get into any kind of other protection, they yell fire, fire, fire. That means it stays on.
3rd and 10, call play to Falk. He spins away. He's to the 10-yard line. Turns out to be a 2-yard pickup, and a 4th down coming up. Darwin Walker made the tackle on Marshall Falk. And the field goal kicking unit comes on. And Jeff Wilkins looking for his 3rd field goal of the game and looking to go over 100 points in the season for the 5th time in his career. This is a 28-yarder. Dane Looker, the holder. And the kick is right through. Jeff Wilkins has 10 points in the game. He is over 100 points for the season. The Rams have a 9-point lead. It's 16-7. That's John Harbaugh, one of the top special teams coaches in the NFL. Look at what he's had to go through this season with injuries and turnover in personnel, 5 kick returners, 4 punt returners, 4 different players for field goals and kickoffs, and 4 different punters.
And that's not even including his coverage teams, which when you have all the injuries that the Philadelphia Eagles have had, you're bringing up young guys off your practice squad, and you're picking up guys out on the street, and all those guys have to contribute in your special teams play.
The Eagles have had 65 players this season play at least 1 game. Wilkins kickoff. Roderick Hood waits at the 4. Looking for an opening. Leaps over 1 man. Good return by Hood. Gets across midfield. Shoved out of bounds at the Rams' 43-yard line. Hood's best return of the season. 53 yards. Dwight Anderson took him out.
Well, John Harbaugh was talking about this. What, they're going to double team up here, the number 2 that comes out. Watch him knock this out. See that? Knock this out right in here so that they can bounce this thing out to the perimeter. And they thought if they could double team their best, the Rams' best guy that gets down there and busts the wedge up, that they would have a chance to get that thing to the perimeter.
Reno Mahe in the backfield. Excellent field position for the Eagles.
Blitz.
McMahon gets time and throws deep. And up goes the one. Gross to intercept it. 3rd turnover of the game for the Eagles. Gross taking it away. He had perfect position and went up for the interception.
Well, he had perfect position for where that ball was thrown. And where it was thrown was underthrown. You've got to get this ball over top of the corner. You see, when it's underthrown in front of the receiver, he had to stop. Literally, Reggie Brown had to stop his route. Now, you keep on throwing that thing as far as you can to the outside.
The Rams last season had only 15 takeaways. This season they're at 22. That's an improvement. Their biggest problem is their giveaways are at 34, the most in the league. Today, no giveaways by the Rams. They've protected the ball, and a big hit on Marshall Faulk. Nice play up front by Sam Rayburn.
Big Sam.
Loss of a yard on the play.
Sam's been hampered this year a little bit.
Penalties.
Injuries. His elbow this year is all jacked up now.
Same for the Eagles. The penalties, turnovers. Steven Jackson is back in at running back. Kevin Curtison is the 3rd wide receiver. Jackson on the draw play. Got a yard. And that time Javon Curse made the stop, and Curse goes limping, comes out limping after making the tackle. Trying to walk it off.
You know, when you get to this point in the season, I mean, it is what it is, and it's a human nature thing. If you're in playoff hunt and you can see the landscape of the rest of the season and the playoffs in front of you, and you see the light at the end of the tunnel, and you know how to get there, and you see the road, it doesn't matter if you're hurt or what, you are jacked up. And when you're in a situation where you're 5-8, well, all the hurts hurt more.
4 wide receivers, complete to Holt, brought down on a good tackle by Roderick Hood at the 13-yard line. Nice defensive series for the Eagles. 3 and out for the Rams after the takeaway. And there's Brian Barker. Talked about the long career of Sean Landeta. Barker in the league 16 years. Kansas City, 1 year with the Eagles, 6 years with Jacksonville, 3 with Washington, and last year with Green Bay. And here he is with the Rams. Wobbly kick, Reno Mahe at midfield. Slips 1 man. Back to the 40. Good field position once again. So the turnover doesn't hurt the Eagles. And they've got good field position on an 11-yard return. Dallas, Washington coming up in our second game. First time these two teams met early in the season. Dallas dominated early. They had a 13-0 lead, under 4 minutes to go in the game. And then Mark Brunell goes to Santana Moss for a touchdown, 13-7, and then the Moss again. And Washington stole the game from Dallas, 14-13. Today they meet in Washington. Dallas is 8-5. Washington 7-6.
Late in the game too, Sam. They stole it. I think most people watched and went to bed thinking Dallas nailed that one.
Right. Reno Mahe is in along with Josh Perry in the backfield. Reggie Brown motions. There's Mahe. Slips a tackle inside the 30. Nice run by Mahe. He's out of bounds at the 28-yard line. Very close to a first down.
And I think if you want to run the ball and you have the O-line problems, and why not run behind Runyon and Andrews? Take a look at Andrews right here. Watch him make a natural wall. Push, push, and then the seal. Look at that. And he's mauling his guy still downfield. And that is so hard to do, folks, in today's NFL, to get movement on a defensive tackle like that.
He got a first down. Here's a nice cutback by Moats. He gets down to the 21-yard line. Adam Archuleta made the tackle. Now, we talked about Shawn Andrews at one time over 400 pounds.
Yeah.
He's now at 378. How hard is it to play at that weight?
Well, I'll tell you where it's hard. It's hard on the pocketbook and also on the heart. Because his playing weight, every player has to weigh in on Friday, and you have a weight that you have to make. His playing weight is 340.
Swing pass to Mahe, takes it in stride, cuts back and is wrestled down at the 17-yard line, but he's got a first down.
340 pounds is his weigh-in every Friday. So I said, Shawn, I said, you mean you haven't made weight one time? No, man, no. I said, well, how much is it per pound? He said, I don't know. It's like $450 or $500 a pound for every day he's over 340. And he's weighing in at 380 now, or so he says. Now, I don't, that all year long, every single day, $500 a pound, you figure it out.
Three wide receivers left. McMahon goes right for L.J. Smith. Incomplete. He almost caught it, and then it was almost intercepted. Furry almost got the interception when it popped out of the hands of L.J. Smith.
Very catchable ball. Very catchable. But that's what happens when you trap it against your body and you don't use your hands and you pull it in against your shoulder pads. That ball will bounce off that hard plastic like nothing else.
2nd and 10. Mahe in the backfield. With Perry. Mahe on the delay. Gets a couple of yards across the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Saw a score come in earlier. Indianapolis, undefeated Indianapolis, was trailing San Diego 16-0. They've come back. It's now 16-10 as the Colts try to remain unbeaten, try to go 14-0. Right here, the Eagles, 3rd down. First time in the red zone for Philadelphia. Their touchdown was a 59-yard run by Ryan Moats. Mahe in the backfield. McMahon in trouble. And they've got him down at the 12-yard line. Good pressure by the Rams. Anthony Hargrove and Tyoka Jackson in on the tackle.
Well, look who you have up in the box here. Okay, that's Archuleta. He's spying the quarterback. That's what a spy guy does. You know, when you're afraid that you got the mobile quarterback and they're going to run too much, okay, you put him up there, you get him up into the box, and on passing downs, you just shadow him so that when he does break to run, you're going to be right there in front of him to close for a tackle. They may get a few yards, but it'll be minimal.
Eagles field goal kicking unit is on. Coy Detmer, the holder. This will be a 31-yard attempt. David Akers, 11 for 14 since he returned from injury. He missed 4 games. It's on the way, and it's right through. The Eagles came close to scoring a touchdown. McMahon with a good throw, but L.J. Smith dropped it, and it turned out to be a field goal. One of the great bowl games, one of the great traditions, the Cotton Bowl, is right here on Fox. Monday, January 2nd, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific. Texas Tech ranked 15th in the nation. Alabama ranked 13th. They're both 9-2. It'll be a great one right here on Fox. The Cotton Bowl, the AT&T Cotton Bowl, 70th edition. David Akers kicks off, line drive.
Wow.
That's deep.
Wow.
Johnson, 5 yards back.
Wow.
Takes a knee.
That's impressive.
Strong leg on the part of David Akers. Remember this one, Eagles fans?
Yes.
Number 31, Wilbert Montgomery. A draft pick in 1977. He still holds 7 Eagles rushing records, including the career rushing yardage.
300 level at the vet. I was there. I remember.
There he is. He's the running backs coach of St. Louis Rams. Good to see him. He was a good one. Steven Jackson is in at running back for St. Louis. Fitzpatrick being pressured. Hit as he throws. It's incomplete. Hard hit. Trent Cole, the rookie out of Cincinnati, who has 5 sacks, with a good hit. And actually, Javon Curse may have been the first one there.
That was Curse. But in Cole, they found a guy at a 5th-round pick that ND Kalu, his knee never really came back. They had problems there. And with that, and with some of the injuries that have happened to the defensive ends, McDougal and whatnot, they've stumbled on Trent Cole. They like him.
Going to the air now all of a sudden. 2 straight passes, both incomplete. So kind of a change in approach for Joe Vitt, passing on 1st and 2nd down.
You know, one of the things that Joe Vitt was talking about was he said the players have more patience than the offensive coaches do. You know, and knowing and covering this Rams team for quite some time, when you would talk to the players, it was like an ongoing joke amongst the players how the coaching staff, no matter which ones were there.
On 3rd down, Fitzpatrick wants to go deep. Overthrows Bonamaleula, and it's picked off. Brian Dawkins on the return. Dawkins inside the 30. And Joe Vitt needs to check his checklist. He put 3 passes in a row in. 2 were incomplete, and 1 is intercepted.
That's what you don't do. He knows it, too. He's well aware of it. And this guy, he has time. There's no pressure. He throws the ball. And it's just an overthrown ball.
And the Rams have now had at least 1 turnover in 26 consecutive games.
That's what
going
they
back
do.
to last season.
That's what they do. And the Rams, their mentality is they don't care about turnovers, interceptions, penalties. They figure they're going to score enough points to overcome all of that.
Well, now the Eagles have a chance. Ryan Moats hit. Beautiful play by Adam Archuleta. Thrown for a loss.
That's the positive side of Adam Archuleta. That's the good with Adam Archuleta. He's going to be right in here. Check him creeping up in here. I'm sorry. He was to the top of the screen. I apologize. Adam Archuleta, number 31, creeped down on the top strong side. I apologize.
Mahe and Perry in the backfield. The ball back to the 31. McMahon waits. Throws outside. Good throw. Good catch by Greg Lewis. Out of bounds at the 19-yard line.
And to me, what Adam Archuleta does up in and around the box and on blitzes and is good because, you know, he's always around the ball, and that's what he does. But the bad side of it is the reason that the Rams are forced to do it is because he's more of a liability in coverage. They can't really even play the cover 2 defense that Lovie Smith brought here a few years back.
Here's 3rd and 1 for the Eagles. Quarterback sneak by McMahon, and that should be enough.
Oh,
it is
enough.
enough.
There's a flag.
Easy.
Check that out. Remember that score I gave you with the Indianapolis Colts? They're now ahead of San Diego, 17-16, after trailing 16-0. So quite a comeback by the Colts. Bill Levy, check out the
Illegal
penalty.
formation. Number 77 was not on the line of scrimmage. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down.
That's Artis Hicks, who was moved out to left tackle when Todd Herremans was injured in the first half. So now instead of a 1st down,
Fly,
it
Eagles,
becomes
fly.
3rd and 6. Darnarian McCants is in each team with 10 penalties in the game. Mahe in the backfield. 4 wide receivers. Short drop. McMahon throws. Got it. Great. Rather Reggie Brown on the slant. Down to the 11-yard line. And a first down. Third catch of the game for Brown.
McMahon knew where he wanted to go and didn't mind letting everyone else know where he was going to go, too. He had his guy Brown. He knew he had inside position. And he took it.
Brandon Green and Tyoka Jackson at defensive ends for the Rams. Mahe splits out empty backfield on 1st and 10 for the Eagles. Everybody out. McMahon looks and starts to run. Slides at the 10-yard line. He picked up a yard on the play. McMahon 9 for 19 for 65 yards with 2 interceptions in the game. But the Eagles, with time winding down here in the 3rd quarter, have a chance to take the lead. If they can put it in the end zone. Lamar Gordon is now on at running back for Philadelphia. With L.J. Smith in at tight end and 2 wide receivers. McMahon runs again to the 5. Out of bounds at the 3-yard line. Archuleta chased him out of bounds. Bring up a 3rd and 2.
Now, they can still get a first down here.
Yes. At the
Plenty of
1-yard
room,
line.
yes.
Andy Reid looking over his play card. But he'll wait to make the call as they go all the way down to the other side of the field. End of the 3rd quarter. Rams lead the Eagles 16-10. It's the holiday time. Trees are up. The tree here in St. Louis.
Menorahs.
Behind it, the arch. The menorahs are up. First night of Hanukkah is the night of Christmas night. Hope you'll join us next week, our Christmas special. Next Sunday, Bill and I will be in Green Bay. Here's 3rd and 2 for the Eagles. The play fake. McMahon looking into the end zone. Nobody open. He throws. And now he found the man. That's a touchdown. Mike Bartram. Mike Bartram with the catch. Another touchdown catch for Bartram. 11 career receptions, 6 have been touchdowns.
McMahon extended that play. He made that play happen because that play was dead from the get-go. Both L.J. Smith and Josh Parry, who the ball was intended to go to one of those two, were covered man-to-man from the get-go of the play.
So the Eagles make the Rams pay for the turnover. The Akers kick is good. The Eagles lead.
Watch these 2 guys right here. They're going to get manned up. Manned up there, manned up here. There's no place to go with the football. There's Bartram working back here, and there's McMahon extending the play to give it a chance. Nice job by the quarterback. Good work by Bartram.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by Burger King, who reminds you to have it your way. By Miller, there's good enough and there's better than it has to be. Miller, good call. By Fidelity Investments, smart move. And by DHL.
Keep the logs on the fire. The special teams kickoff coverage, despite injuries, has been solid for the Eagles this season. Ryan Moats, the rookie running back, is there. Mark Semino has been strong. Gets down in a hurry. Quentin Michael as well. David Akers to kick off. Last time it was a touchback. Johnson, 2 yards deep, brings it out. And the Eagles get a piece of him and then take him down at the 21-yard line. Matt Ware was down, got a piece of him early.
What about Moats? He's got to run down there and kick off coverage, you know? Look at that little move. He jumped.
Oh, but he missed.
And he whiffed.
Doesn't matter that he scored 3 touchdowns in the last 2 games.
And there's Harbaugh. Don't ever jump over anybody. Don't spin and don't get out of your lane.
Steven Jackson in at running back. Rams start from the 20, trailing 17-16. It's Jackson. And they're there. Juquay Thomas came all the way across the field.
Well, that's backside pursuit, Sam. That's backside pursuit. And the reason backside pursuit can make a play like that is because your front side is doing its job, forcing it to string it out. Watch Hollis Thomas. Watch outside there Trent Cole. Look at the linebackers. There's no place for Steven Jackson to go. So that's when it's all bottled up, you have your right gap responsibilities, and your backside pursuit can hunt it down.
4 wide receivers in. Marshall Faulk now in the backfield. There was a loss of 3 on the last play. Fitzpatrick looking for Faulk. Too high. A little behind him. And now the offense is struggling for St. Louis. We've got an update. Let's go to JB.
Hey, Sam, take a look here. Seattle answering back. Matt Hasselbeck hooking up with Darrell Jackson, who had been out 8 games. First game back, 2-yard touchdown catch. 28-24. Seattle is on top. 5:08 left in regulation. Colts have been trailing 16-0. They battle ahead 17-16. That one in the 4th. Back to Sam Rosen and Bill Moss.
Thanks, JB. There you see the Colts at 13-0. They've got the division and the home field locked up. Hurst came across. He says somebody drew him off by moving. Yes, false start Rams.
Offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Brandon Manumaleuga. Wild game in Tennessee. Seattle was up 14-0. Tennessee scored 24 unanswered points. And now Seattle has come back with 14 straight to lead 28-24. Seattle hoping to lock up home field advantage in the NFC. Faulk in the backfield. Rams have to get to the 31 for a first down. Draw play. Faulk, little dancing, and then Darwin Walker takes him down at the 20-yard line. So the Rams offense, which had been effective with a running game and short passing, now is stalling. And a good job by the Eagles defensively. Most of those rushing yards for the Rams, 122, came in the first half.
And they had discipline. I mean, they were just thinking about pounding the ball. There were hardly any pass attempts.
Ryan Barker's 6th punt. Mahe watched it bounce. It hits him, and he recovers. I thought he was down, but he got up and ran.
Well, what it was, I believe, was a fumble. I think he had it, and he fumbled it and picked it up and ran with it.
Picked it up and decided to run with it. Chris Massey takes him down. Eagles start at the 39-yard line. Thought he was down right there, but he got up and ran. It was okay. One-time Eagles linebacker Kurt Govea, brought in by Joe Vitt to his coaching staff.
You're talking one-time Eagles. That's where they coached together and played together. Kurt Govea. He was with Washington. He was with San Diego. Kurt Govea was a man in the middle.
Mahe carrying, gets about 3 on the play across the 40-yard line. Trevor Faulk with the stop. Rams need a good defensive series here. The Eagles have scored the last 2 possessions. A field goal and a touchdown. Ryan Moats, his first carry was 59 yards. His last 8 carries, a total of 12. McMahon rolls and throws to McMullen. He's got it, breaks a tackle, and gets up across midfield. They're going to spot him at the 49-yard line, right at the first down line. That's enough. First down. Corey Ivy, who's shaken up on the special teams coverage on the last kick, last punt. He's back in, made the tackle. First half, second half. Pretty close for Mike McMahon. The touchdown pass to Mike Bartram. Moats stays in at running back. Play fake. McMahon rush, throws to Josh Parry out of the backfield. Down at the 46-yard line of the Rams. Picked up 5 on the play.
Take a listen to this. The collision. That's a sandwich.
Tinoe Samoa
Right there.
with a big hit, absolutely.
Heck, Pisa was in there, and also on the other side it was Trev Falk.
Mahe in the backfield. 3 receivers to the left. McMahon looks right. Here comes the blitz. The pass incomplete. Billy McMullen, the intended receiver.
I mean, the Rams just don't mind coming after you. They've blitzed on almost every other play.
Sent 2 men that side. That time on the backside. And here's a 3rd and 5 for the Eagles. With 4 wide receivers in, Mahe in the backfield. McMullen in motion. McMahon throws wide open as he completes it to Greg Lewis for a first down inside the 40. Mike Furrey on the tackle.
And that's a tough route to run, too, by Greg Lewis. You know, you have to get the depth out by the first down markers, and then you're coming across underneath that second level of defenders. Watch, these guys here are going to all drop back in there. They're your second level. He's right underneath them. So the second you catch the ball, you have to have your depth at that first down marker, because they're going to just come in and close on you hard and fast.
Lamar Gordon in at running back as Andy Reid continues to rotate 3. McMahon rolls and throws it deep. And it's overthrown. Intended for Reggie Brown. He was well covered by Ron Bartell.
And he had Greg Lewis in the middle of the field. Wide receiver on a linebacker in the middle of the field. He took his shot on the deep ball.
Mike McMahon is hooked up with 8 different receivers in the game.
Well, that's this offense, and that's the Philadelphia Eagles offense. That's what they do. I mean, at the end of the day, they want to see, after they get a win and check the scoreboard, they want to see how many different receivers caught balls.
Ryan Moats in running back.
Here comes the blitz.
Moats cuts it back, and he's brought down. Good tackle by Brandon Green before Moats could get some speed going. Otherwise, it might have turned into a long gainer. Pick up a 3 on the play and bring up a 3rd and 7 for the Eagles. Steven Spock is in as an extra tight end. Lamar Gordon is the running back.
As much as they're blitzing, well, what you'll end up having here is you'll have Spock stay in and also Gordon stay in, and they kind of help pick up that blitz.
Eagles 5 for 10 on 3rd down. McMahon throws and it's intercepted. Another turnover. Mike Furrey's got it. Tries to return. He's tripped up. 4th turnover of the game. 3rd interception thrown by McMahon.
4th interception for Furrey.
McMahon wanted to go deep. Underthrew his man, and Furrey with the interception.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by Toyota. Choose any direction as long as it's forward. Toyota, moving forward.
As Bill mentioned, Mike Furrey with his 4th interception of the season. He leads the Rams. They've had 3 interceptions in the game, 4 turnovers for the Eagles. Marshall Faulk on 1st down. It's up close to the 13-yard line. Sam Rayburn on the tackle.
Furrey on his interception. This guy, you know, to do what he's done, to make that transition, and then to start. I mean, that's like being right-handed all your life, and all of a sudden you wake up and you have to be left-handed. You're seeing everything exactly the opposite of how you've done it all your life. And then go out there and to excel at it due to the injuries and the problems they've had in the secondary and become a starter.
That pass almost picked off by Sheldon Brown. Fitzpatrick tried to get it to Isaac Bruce. Sheldon Brown was there. That's what's happened to the Eagles a lot. They've had chances for a big play like this, and they missed.
Well,
it was tipped at the line,
yeah,
I think.
Yes, exactly. Javon Curse had it tipped off his hands, and then Sheldon Brown was breaking on it. and the thing went into a crazy spiral or non-spiral, and Sheldon Brown couldn't come up with it.
Fitzpatrick in the second half, 1 for 9 with 1 interception. 4 wide receivers in on 3rd down. He gets time, he throws, and the ball juggled and dropped incomplete, intended for Sean McDonald. And the Rams are forced to punt. The offense is really stalled here in the second half.
I hate to see that. Now, I played receiver, tight end, but I never played at that level, But I hate to hear that ball hit the shoulder pads. To me, that's just laziness. Catch the ball with your hands.
7th punt of the game for Brian Barker. Reno Mahe backpedals. Good punt by Barker. From the 31, Mahe can't get away from Corey Ivy. Ivy has had a great game on special teams.
And a flag, gentlemen. Not so fast.
Flag comes in.
Personal foul, number 51, receiving team. 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
So that hurts the Eagles as Matt McCoy, the rookie linebacker, playing on special teams. Personal foul. The Eagles will be pushed back 15 yards. What do you got going there, Bill?
Well, when you put this new AstroTurf down, or this field turf down, you see that black dot in there? That's the pieces of the rubber that it's tires and tennis shoes and everything that's all ground up. And when you're out there flying around, Sam, that stuff, you'll see it. You'll see it spray up off the turf, and it jumps up in the air. And when the guys go down and they walk on it, you just pull your finger back and rake across it, and that stuff will come flying up.
Ryan Moats got a yard on the 1st down carry.
Now, that's the same stuff that makes it so soft to walk on and so nice to play on for the players. It's got a lot of give to it.
Moats stays in. 2 tight ends in. It's Moats carrying, trying to get outside. Flag on the play. Brought down at the 29-yard line by DeJuan Gross. And we'll check out the flag. A lot of penalties in this game. It's a holding call against the Eagles.
Holding, number 82 offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
It's on L.J. Smith, the tight end. Final score, our first final of the day. Seattle wins again. They go to 12-2 as they beat Tennessee. So big road win for the Seahawks after they led early by 14, fell behind by 10. They win. Ryan Moats talking to Marty Morningweg on the sideline. On 2nd down, McMahon gets time, throws the screen to Mahe. Brandon Chiller wraps him up at the 22-yard line. Bring up a 3rd and long for the Eagles.
Well, Sean Andrews, I talked about him pretty much all day. He hasn't really had a bad play. He's had outstanding plays. Every one of them graded out a plus. But here he is out in space, on the screen. He's going to get out in front of Mahe and literally just whiff. Watch him. Here he is here. Now he gets out in front. The big fella just whiff, whoop. And that's what he's talking about here. I need to lose weight so I can feel lighter and quicker
on
blocks
4th
like
down,
that.
the swing pass to L.J. Smith, and he is stopped immediately. Good play by the rookie cornerback, Ron Bartell. So the Rams defense comes up strong. Got help from a holding penalty on L.J. Smith, and the Eagles will be forced to punt. St. Louis Rams have lost 2 straight home games. They have not had a 3-game home losing streak since 2000. 5th punt of the game for Sean Landeta. Dean Looker is deep. Short kick. Looker waves for the fair catch. Has it at the 43-yard line. Rams have good field position. Big weekend coming up. It's the holidays. Get your shopping in, and then Saturday, the big football day, has got some great games. Cowboys at Carolina, Giants at Washington, Atlanta, Tampa Bay.
We have a new quarterback.
Sunday, it's Christmas special. The Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific. Hope you'll join us. Bill and I and Chris Myers will be there.
Pack your long underwear, Sam.
Yes, sir. Jamie Martin is in at quarterback. Returning after missing a couple of games with a head injury. Marshall Faulk up to the 47-yard line, picks up 4 on the play. Jamie Martin was injured in the game against Houston on November 27th.
Well,
and that's when Fitzpatrick came in, and he's been in ever since.
Houston, yeah. And I think that it goes to show, if anything, that this isn't about evaluating talent. I mean, both these coaches still want to win. And when you have about 6 minutes left in the game in good field position, you want to run the clock down, grind it out, and then kick a game-winning field goal or to score a touchdown in the red zone.
Martin goes outside, and it's complete. The catch made by Kevin Curtis. It's a first down at the Eagles' 46. Curtis, second on the team in receptions this season with only his first catch of the game.
And obviously, you know, Joe Vitt must have felt that Jamie Martin gave him the best chance to do that, to go out here and win this game, given what they've seen in the passing situation from Fitzpatrick. However, you know, how would you like to be Jamie Martin? You know, when you're not playing in the game in the fourth quarter, you've been standing around the whole time on the headsets calling in the plays, and all of a sudden you're in the fourth quarter with 5 minutes and 25 seconds left. You say, here, kid, go win it.
Go win it. 3 wide receivers, toss to Arlen Harris. Couple of blockers. Gets across the 45, and down close to the 43-yard line. Darwin Walker made a stop for the Eagles.
And the clock's running, you know. And literally, you're probably, 15 yards away from Jeff Wilkins for a field goal. I know he made a 53, and he's made a 50 this year. But I mean, to secure a game-winning 3 points.
10 yards.
10 yards, you say?
Walken Harris.
So you want to give him a 53-yard field goal to win the game?
I'll give him a 50. That's 10 yards. Get the ball down to 33, 32.
Where you have to spot it 8 yards deep now.
Yeah, that's at the 40, and that would be a 50-yarder.
Well, at the 30, Sam, would be more than 10 yards.
No, I said 10 yards from where they are now.
Sorry.
That would be 33.
76 offense, 5-yard penalty, second out.
33, spotted back 8 yards,
51.
51.
You want him to, yeah, that's a long field goal. He's got the leg, and we're indoors. You know? He has the leg, and we're indoors. But I mean, for security's sake, because you're the head coach, you want to grind that clock down, let it run, and get that ball down and inside the 30. 20, 25, walk off the field, kick it, bang, gone.
But another penalty on the Rams, sets him back to the 49. Walk is in the slot. Martin goes outside of Isaac Bruce down to the 41-yard line. Roderick Hood with a tackle. Second catch of the game for Isaac Bruce. Brings up a 3rd and long for the Rams. All right. That would be, if you see the blue line, if they're at that line of scrimmage, that's the 32. That would be a 50-yarder.
Okay.
All right, so we are 10 yards away now from a 50-yarder. Falcon Harris in the backfield. Now Harris puts out wide left. Now 37-yard line.
Now this is it right here. You're short on the first down.
4th and 1.
You're forced to go just to the mere fact, I believe, that you ran the clock down this far. I think you're forced to go for first down now.
Joe Vitt.
And this could be the game.
Here's a 4th and 1. They are 14 for 18 on 4th down conversion. Hedgecock is wide left. Falk is stopped. The Eagles stop him short. Room for a loss. Great play by Dhani Jones and Jeremiah Trotter.
A run blitz. They stacked it up inside, and they were going to give him the pass. They said, well, go ahead. You want to throw it, throw it. Because watch what they do. They're bringing everybody on this thing. Everybody is flying upfield at the snap of the ball.
Looked like a lot of people missed blocks up front, Bill, for the Rams. So the Eagles come up big. Yes, go ahead.
You know Dhani Jones doesn't even play guitar? Did you know that? No, he does that guitar thing all the time like that. You know, when he makes a play. In reality, he doesn't even play guitar.
Maybe he'd like to.
Wouldn't we all?
Falk is upset. The Rams did not execute. They lost a couple, turned the ball over on downs. And now the Eagles have the ball. Rams still have 3 timeouts. Eagles have a 1-point lead from the 39 with 2 tight ends in. Oh, McMahon fell down, and now he's touchdown.
That wasn't a touchdown, Sam.
Did he trip over somebody?
Yes, he did. He tripped over the ankle of I believe, the center or the guard as he was pulling back out from under center. It was the guard.
Second game of our Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader. The Cowboys and the Redskins are coming up on Fox, America's most watched NFL network. 2 tight ends in. Ball back at the 34-yard line, 2nd and 15. As you look at Marshall Faulk. Ryan Moats gets a couple, gets across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Piece of Tinui Samoa with a tackle. And a timeout for the Rams, their second. Joe Vitt sending in the defensive signals. Needs one more big play. He wants the ball back. They've conserved time. Eagles have to get to the 49-yard line for a first down. Moats and Perry in the backfield. McMahon. Nobody open. He slides down at the 30-yard line. Good defensive series for the Rams.
UGLY.
Yes.
What do you think? I mean, wow. Oof.
I would say.
Honestly.
Bad play calling or just bad execution?
It's, bad everything. Yeah, honestly, it really is. And for the Eagles, their offense is just, it's gone downhill. It's just not there. There's nothing really there. There's nothing to hang your hat on when you need something right now. You know, at least when the Rams, they needed something, they didn't ask the quarterback to do it. They just, hey, guys, it's on you. Grind it out, run it, we're going to pound it, let's get something done. And they chewed up the clock. But for the Eagles, they've given the Rams an excellent opportunity here with almost 3 minutes left to go and a bunch of timeouts considering their 2-minute warning still going to come.
Landeta punting. Earlier had a 54-yard punt. This one is a good one. Dane Looker backs up to the 19. Tries to get outside. Flag on the play. That's going to be against the Rams.
Sure is.
They'll have a long way to go.
Corey Ivy.
Ivy, who played a really good game, but has picked up a couple of penalties.
Block in the back.
51-yard punt for Landeta. It's on Corey Ivy.
Well, what happens is the breakdown.
Oh, that was a little touch. He looked like he was falling down.
Well, when you have the guy in front of you literally just slam on the brakes and you're in full mode, I think he did the best job he could possibly do. Donald Strickland just stopped running because he was breaking down because Dane Looker had the ball. So you have to break down and maintain control of your body to make a play on the ball. But at the same time, Ivy was in full speed motion. Yeah, what are you
it
gonna
looked
do?
worse than it was, but that's the call. And the Rams start from the 11-yard line with 4 wide receivers and 1 timeout, plus, as Bill mentioned, the 2-minute warning.
89 yards to go.
Long way.
Or no.
More or less
Field goal.
for the field goal.
We get 69 yards.
Now Marshall Faulk's on the sideline. He's rushed for 87 yards today. and moved ahead of Marcus Allen into 9th place all-time on the NFL's rushing list. Now ahead of him, the great Jim Brown. Jamie Martin works out of the shotgun. Arlen Harris in the backfield. 4 wide receivers.
Delay game?
No, false start. Oh, the Rams just killing themselves. 14th penalty of the game on the Rams. 105 yards in penalties.
They got Torrey Holt, I think, huh?
And back to the 6-yard line. They were the same personnel. 1st and 15. Eagles drop back in coverage. Martin shovels it ahead to Arlen Harris. He spins to the 11-yard line, and he's down there. Back to the original line of scrimmage. It's now 2nd and 10. Andy Kalu, credit for the tackle.
Yeah, where's Marshall Faulk?
Sideline. Going with Arlen Harris.
Is he injured?
I don't think so. Here's Arlen Harris on the draw. It's up to the 14-yard line. 3rd and 6.
I
think the fans agree with you, Bill.
Well, is something wrong with Faulk is my question. Did he get dinged on the last carry he had, or for the first down? Did he really get rung up with Dhani Jones?
His helmet is on. He's ready to go. Here's 3rd down. Martin throws. 1st down. On the completion of Sean McDonald.
And 2-minute warning is going to stop the clock for him.
Up to the 28-yard line. The Rams with the ball, trailing at the 2-minute warning by 1.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by the new Sprint, the official telecommunications service sponsor of the NFL.
Marshall Faulk remains on the sideline, and we are told officially the Rams are out of timeouts.
I thought they had one left.
No, apparently not. The Rams have the ball 1st down at the 28. While we have a moment, special thanks today to our audio wizard, Kevin McCloskey. Always makes us sound good. We know his family's watching back in Philadelphia. And our technical director, Bob Goosley.
Goose.
His family watching today. On 1st down. Yours is too. You can say hello to your family.
Hello, family. Happy holiday.
Jamie Martin throws as he's rushed. Almost intercepted. Through the hands of Brian Dawkins, who has 1 pick in the game.
Now, for the life of me, I just can't imagine in a clutch situation like this.
Why Marshall Faulk's on the sideline.
When you're talking about a clutch guy like that and all the things he's done, even the spurts he's shown with his determined running today, and when they needed 1st downs, except for the last one, and picking them up, and the things that he can do in a game, in the passing game on check down. I don't get it.
Harris stays in. Martin operates out of the shotgun on 2nd and 10. Goes to Harris. Puts a move on Andy Kalu. Drags him down at the 35.
See, there's the check down. There's the check down. And I'm sorry, I mean, nothing against Arlen Harris. He's fine. I just don't see, or never have seen, Marshall Faulk have that happen to him right there.
3rd and 3. Martin waits with time. Throws. Caught by McDonald for a 1st down at the 41. Clock running. They spot it just across the 40. Rams have to get to about the 32 of the Eagles for a 50-yard Wilkins field goal try. Harris picks up the blitz. Pass to McDonald. Runs out of bounds at midfield.
Nice move by McDonald. Blitz was on. McDonald had separation from him and the defender. Caught the ball. Nice job by Jamie Martin picking it up, seeing it. Threw the ball as he got hit.
And Arlen Harris picked up the blitz. That was an important play.
Now watch the heads up after that. Darting to the sidelines, knowing that the team's out of timeouts.
Isaac Bruce comes out. Wilkins is waiting. Rams need about 18 yards. Dane Looker is in to replace Isaac Bruce. 4 wide receivers. Harris. Harris dives, but there's a flag on the play. Would have been a 9-yard gain.
Holding. Number 67 offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
15 penalties. That one's on the veteran, Andy McCullum, the center. And that one hurts big time.
He had that arm locked. Had that arm locked, there's no question.
So now, 2nd and 20 at the 40-yard line. Out of timeouts, 1:06 remaining. The blitz coming from the corner. Pass is caught by Dane Looker. He's out of bounds up at the 44-yard line. The blitz from Michael Lewis, the safety.
Philadelphia implementing a three-man defensive line throughout most of this drive. Andy Kalu has been lined up over the nose. He's been in and out, moving around. Now they've got 4.
I was incorrect on the yardage. It's a 3rd and 7
1, 2, 3. Now here's Kalu right here. Now you don't know where he's going to come. That's Kalu.
3rd and 7. Everybody out. Martin throws low. And the ruling is incomplete. Intended for Sean McDonald. So now here comes 4th down and the game for the Rams and the Eagles.
Good call.
San Diego's leading Indianapolis 26-17 with 1:46 to go. Isaac Bruce is back in. 4 wide receivers. With Arlen Harris.
Here comes the blitz.
Martin throws in. It's almost intercepted. It's incomplete. Dawkins had it fall through his hands. But the Eagles take over, and they will put this one away. The blitz from the outside. Pressure on Jamie Martin. And the Rams, penalties. Just killed them every time they started to get
from the
something going.
onset of the game, Sam. Everything they did, you know, one step up and then the penalty, they're going backwards.
Post-game show, JB, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy standing by with highlights and scores and the latest going on. Don't forget, 2nd game of our Fox NFL doubleheader with Dallas and Washington. Very important game. False start on the Eagles. So throw in one more penalty. Carolina's defeated New Orleans 27-10. The Rams, 3 straight home field losses, will go to 5-9. The Eagles with a bounce back win after having lost 6 of their last 7, including their last 2 to Seattle, and the Giants will go to 6-8.
Doesn't seem right seeing these two teams in the situations they are in, but I think what's even more to the imagination of what's to come. What's this offseason hold for both these teams?
We'll see. For the Rams, they've got to get their coaching situation settled. That'll come after New Year's when they decide the fate of Mike Martz. For Andy Reid and Joe Vitt, they know each other. Vitt, well known in the Philadelphia area. A tough loss for the Rams. A satisfying win on the road for the Philadelphia Eagles. They beat the Rams 17-16. Dallas at Washington is coming up.